There is new fallout this evening from Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. In recent days, we have reported on a series of troubling reports involving members of Mueller's team who are clearly not fans of the president, bringing into question whether or not they're impartial enough to be on this investigation. So now a top member of the president's legal team says that what's needed in his mind is a second special counsel to keep an eye on, to oversee the investigators. Jay Sekulow told Axios, quote, "The Department of Justice and FBI cannot ignore the multiple problems that have been created by these obvious conflicts of interest. These new revelations require the appointment of a special counsel to investigate," he writes. Jonathan Turley is constitutional law expert and George Washington University law professor and good friend of the program. Jonathan, good to see you tonight. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Martha.
So what do you think about that? Should he do that?
Well, I totally agree with the need for a serious investigation. I find the allegations involving the dossier and the fusion effort to be deeply troubling. I mean, there are false statements that have been made. There's serious conflicts of interest. Having said that, I would not recommend another special counsel. This is the type of thing that Congress can and should investigate. They have jurisdiction over the Justice Department. This is a core concern of whether the Justice Department acted through politically motivated means or purposes. Now, that can change depending on new disclosures. It could also change if the Justice Department continues to refuse to give information to Congress. I've said for years that these committees need to enforce their contempt authority and to start holding these officials guilty of contempt.
Yeah, I mean, it's really unbelievable. You kind of feel bad for members on these committees on the Hill because, you know, ever since Benghazi, they request documents. They nicely ask for them. They send things. Now they're doing it here. They have requested many documents with regard to the dossier, whether or not the dossier was used as a precursor or to lay the groundwork for the investigation. They can't seem to get anywhere with getting answers from the FBI on any of that. And then you look at, you know, the different characters that are playing roles in this investigation and the myriad, starting with Bob Mueller and his relationship with James Comey and on down, Andrew Weissman. It starts to look like a team of people who, you know, are obviously very smart, obviously have, you know, wonderful degrees. They're attorneys of great repute. However, their own actions make it appear that they cannot be impartial in this case.
Well, I think that the problem we're seeing emerge is that the conflicts are becoming more the rule than the exception in these investigations. Yeah. I have no problem with spending millions of dollars, spending copious amounts of time on these investigations. The one thing I don't want is at the end for there to be lingering doubts as to whether any of this matters because of conflicts of interest. And so I think we seriously have to look at that. The Justice Department seriously has to look at it. Right now, the integrity of the Justice Department is at stake, and they're not doing much to correct it. And
but who can do that? I guess that's the question, because if the House committees who have the jurisdiction, as you point out, can't get the information that they want, it's no wonder, you know, that Jay Sekulow said maybe we need somebody on the outside.
Well, that may, in fact, be the only outcome unless they force this issue. I've testified before that Congress needs to enforce contempt authority. And I have to say, to the credit of the Republicans in the House, they are thinking of holding officials in a Republican administration in contempt. That would be the first time in modern times to have a party holding its own administration to account. That would be a good development, given the rather checkered history of contempt of agencies in dealing with Congress.
Great point. Jonathan Turley, thank you, as always. Good to see you tonight.
Thanks, Martha.